Now it's time to meet some criminology students in Glasgow who are hot on the heels of some real-life cold cases.
There are thousands of people who've been missing for years, and human remains that have been discovered but never identified. But at Glasgow Caledonian University, they're trying a new way to train the investigators of tomorrow. They've set up a cold case unit to give their students these difficult, real-world cases to try and solve.
The cold case unit at Glasgow Caledonian University started last year, and we try to resolve cases that are more than 12 months old, where somebody has either gone missing or where human remains have been found and we've not yet identified who they are.
At present in the UK, there are around 4,000 people who've been missing for more than 1 year, and there are around 1,000 unidentified remains.
Students who volunteer to work in the unit are put into teams and allocated cases to work on, including some that have been passed on by Police Scotland.
Essentially, it gives them an experience of what it would be like to be a real-life investigator, to work on these sorts of cases. They learn all sorts of techniques around investigation, intelligence analysis and so on, and how they would pursue research to try to forward a case. So for them coming to study criminology, it's quite a unique opportunity to be able to work on these live cases and to be able to also liaise with criminal justice institutions like the police.
The students only take on cases that aren't currently being investigated as crimes, but their work could uncover vital evidence.
I think the first thing we have, I would say, is the gift of time. We have a group of very enthusiastic students who are willing to put that time into these cases.
Their aim is to try and gather all those bits of that jigsaw puzzle and try and build this bigger picture, trying to complete the puzzle ideally. But actually, sometimes we won't necessarily complete the puzzle. But what we have done is given the police a few more pieces.
The students are currently working across 7 cases of unidentified remains, some of the mysteries that have been unsolved for decades.
One of our cases involves a man whose body was recovered from a roof space in a set of flats in 1977, and he had a number of interesting possessions on him.
He had some gig tickets for a Led Zeppelin concert, which was taking place in Earl's Court in 1975, and this is a really sort of iconic concert.
So we'd like to generate an appeal based on some of these possessions and reaching out to communities such as Led Zeppelin fans on Facebook and asking them, did you go to this concert with someone who you've lost touch with?
These students can use investigative resources that weren't available in 1975, like social media and online forums.
What we want to try and do now is establish what kind of ticket did he have, and can that kind of tell us where he purchased the tickets? Did he get them in Scotland? Did he get them in London? And that way we can start to build a picture around where he was during these days, months and weeks up into when his body was found.
Another case being investigated by the students is a 35-year-old mystery they call Edinburgh Man.
So Edinburgh Man was found in Regent Gardens, Edinburgh, in 1987, a couple of days before Christmas.
With an historic case like this one, the unit can access expertise from other academics in the university to help put together a picture of what the man could have looked like.
We've drawn on our colleagues who work in forensic anthropology because we can utilise their skills to either create what we call post-mortem depictions, which is an image of the deceased person, or if the body is very badly decomposed, they can do facial reconstructions, which allow us to create an image of how that person may have looked in life.
And we've got a picture of the victim, so we do know that he had these really distinctive hazel eyes, a beard and a moustache.
People might see that image and think, actually, that looks like somebody I know, or that looks like my family member. I mean, the cases are endlessly fascinating, and you do end up, really intrigued about who these people are. How have they ended up there? So for each one of these cases, it's got its own social history, its own social story. It's a story and a biography of somebody's life, and we're trying to piece that together and make sense of it, which I think is part of the reason that we remain so engaged with the cases.
And the students believe their efforts are worthwhile.
It's been able to feel useful and being able to feel like you're part of solving something that might bring a lot of peace to a lot of people.
It's definitely on my mind about being able to give a family closure, because when you think about it, you do get quite connected to the people that you're working on. Somebody knows who these people are, and they're somebody's loved ones, so it'd be a massive honour to be able to give them their names back.
It's really fascinating work, and there's actually been an update since filming. And here to tell us more is student Lou Clave, who we just saw in the film there. Lou, welcome. Really good to have you with us. So those Led Zeppelin tickets have actually provided you with a new lead. You've managed to find an image of a man.
Yeah, we did. We were able to draw on the expertise of Locate International volunteers who went to the local records office, and they found a newspaper article in the Matlock Mercury from around the time the body was found, and it included an image of our guy. So before we just had a description of him, but now we have this image that hopefully we can take to these online communities or communities that still exist of Led Zeppelin fans, and we've got an image that we can now show them along with the other information we have about the tickets.
It's so interesting, isn't it? It's a real fact-finding mission, piecing all these bits of the jigsaw together. You also managed to find out that this man was diabetic.
Yeah, and this is something that we think will be key in trying to find out the identity of our guy, because being insulin dependent in the 70s is going to be a much different experience to how it was today. And we found out that people were camping for hours. They were sleeping overnight trying to get tickets to this gig. So there's a really good chance that someone saw him taking his insulin jag in the queue, or maybe even the concert. We know that this concert at Earl's Court went on for hours. So there's potential that someone maybe recognises this guy or remembers someone having to take insulin when they were at the gig.
So this is a real crucial piece of information, isn't it? So how can viewers help today? Because you're really looking for a name, aren't you?
Yeah, we really want to find out if anyone is looking for him. If you recognise him, maybe he was your friend, maybe you lost touch, maybe you had a friend who had diabetes in the 70s and you went to this gig together. Sort of any information around that would be so helpful for us and help us to push this case forward a little bit.
How do you find doing this type of research, Lou? Because it's all encompassing.
Yeah, I mean, we work on several cases at a time and you get so attached. And, Maureen and Leslie tell us often, this is cold casework. It's slow, pace yourself. But it never feels slow. It always feels fast-paced. It always feels exciting. And just being a part of something that we hope will bring peace to family and friends who are looking for these people, it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really rewarding work and you're doing a great job. We'll definitely make sure we check in with you again. Lou, thank you so much. As we say, we're going to keep in touch with Lou to see how the case is developing. And if you think you can help at all, please contact the email below.